far, far beneath the rolling waves, where magnificent coral castles shimmered in the deep blue light and long strands of seagrass swayed like graceful dancers, lived a young mermaid named Lunara. She was different from the others. While her friends collected rare pearls and giggled as they explored sunken shipwrecks, Lunara dreamed of something else, something far, far beyond the sea. She dreamed of the stars. Every single night, as the ocean grew quiet and the moon painted shimmering silver paths across the water's surface, Lunara would swim up to her special place. She'd rest her arms on a smooth, dark rock and just gaze up at the endless, velvet sky. The stars glittered like tiny, sparkling promises scattered across the darkness. So many beautiful lights, she would whisper to herself. I wonder what stories they hold. One star, in particular, always caught her eye. It shone with a steady, gentle brightness, a little stronger than all the rest. Lunara called it Ilaris. You must be the bravest one up there, she'd say to it softly, her voice just a murmur on the sea breeze. You shine so brightly, even when the night feels so long and so dark. Of course, the other mermaids noticed her nightly ritual. They'd swim over, their tails flicking playfully in the water. Lunara, why do you spend all your time watching the sky? Don't you know the ocean is full of so many wonders? Lunara would only smile, a secret, happy smile. Because deep down in her heart, she had a feeling, a special feeling, that the stars were watching her too. Then, one perfectly quiet and peaceful night, something completely unexpected happened. As Lunara watched her favorite star, Ilaris suddenly flickered. It dimmed, then brightened, then dimmed again, and then, it fell. A breathtaking streak of silver light shot across the night sky, a teardrop of light, and vanished somewhere beyond the distant horizon. Lunara gasped, her heart skipping a beat. A star has fallen, she whispered in disbelief. Without a moment of hesitation, she took a deep breath and dove headfirst into the dark, mysterious waters. She swam faster than she had ever swum before, her powerful tail propelling her through the deep. She swam past glowing coral reefs that pulsed with soft, neon colors, through whispering currents that seemed to tell ancient secrets, and into dark, unexplored places where no mermaid had ever dared to go. The ocean around her grew darker, and quieter, and heavier. It felt like the whole sea was holding its breath. At last, after what felt like an eternity, Lunara reached a hidden, secret cove where the sea gently kissed a sandy shore. And there, tangled among glowing sea vines that pulsed with a faint, magical light, lay a small, crystalline shard. It was pulsing with a weak, fading light, and it seemed to tremble with fear. Lunara approached it slowly, her movements gentle and calm. It's all right, she whispered, her voice full of kindness. You're safe now, I'm here. As her fingertips gently brushed against the shard, a soft, warm shimmer of light spread through the water. A gentle voice, not of the sea, but of the sky, echoed inside her mind. I tried to shine brighter for someone who was watching, the voice said sadly, but I pushed too hard, and I fell. I don't know how to get back home. Lunara's heart filled with compassion. She carefully wrapped her arms around the glowing star piece, holding it close to her chest as if it were a fragile baby bird. You don't have to shine all by yourself, she said, her voice filled with a newfound determination. I'll help you. But as she spoke those words, the sea began to stir. Strange shadows danced and moved in the deep, dark corners of the cove. A cold sliver of fear crept into Lunara's heart. What if I'm not strong enough to help? She wondered, her courage beginning to waver. What if the darkness is too much for me? Then, in that moment of doubt, she remembered all those countless nights she had spent watching the stars. She remembered how steady they were, how patient. She remembered how they were never ever afraid of the darkness that surrounded them. Closing her eyes, Lunara took a deep, calming breath, and then, she began to sing. Her song wasn't loud. It wasn't perfect. But it was a song filled with all the kindness in her heart, with all the hope she could muster, and with a courage she didn't even know she had. Her gentle melody flowed through the water like a warm current, and as it did, a magical thing began to happen. The restless currents slowed their swirling dance. The menacing shadows seemed to drift away, fading back into the deep. The whole ocean grew still, as if it was listening to her song. The star shard in her arms began to glow brighter, and warmer, and lighter. It felt like it was waking up. Slowly, gently, the sea itself seemed to lift the shard from Lunara's hands. It floated upward, rising higher and higher, a bubble of pure starlight. It rose through the dark water until it burst through the surface of the ocean and soared back into the night sky. Before it left completely, the star's voice spoke to her one last time. A whisper carried on the wind. Because you cared. Because you were kind, I will shine brighter than ever before. Lunara floated to the surface, watching as the night sky sparkled more brightly than she had ever seen it. But as she looked down at herself, she realized something else had changed. Her own scales were shimmering faintly, reflecting the light of the stars. And wherever she swam, the water behind her glowed with a soft, silvery light. When she returned to her home, the other mermaids stared in awe. "Lunara, you shine," they whispered, their eyes wide with wonder. Lunara smiled, a warm and knowing smile. "I learned it from the stars," she said. From that night on, Lunara still swam to the surface each evening. But now, she sang not only to the sky above, but to the great, wide sea below. She sang of courage. She sang of kindness. And she sang of believing in dreams, even the ones that feel very, very far away. And if you listen very, very closely on a quiet night, when the waves whisper their secrets to the shore, you just might hear her melody drifting on the breeze. It's the song of a mermaid, reminding the world that even the smallest heart, with enough kindness and courage, can reach up and touch the stars. Good night, little dreamers. May your own dreams shine ever so bright, and may you always have the courage to follow the light that you love. Sleep well,